Hi, hello, welcome to our channel Chemistry Era. This is Anil. Today we are going to learn about ninth class first chapter, that is matter around us. Before going to learn about the chapter, first let us try to understand about matter. See, this is the chalk piece. Can I call it as matter? If I have the mic, this is the mic. Can I call this mic as a matter? The phone by which it is recording, can I call the cell phone as a matter? So, which is called as a matter? According to science, the substance which possess two different properties. One is mass, another is volume, is called as a matter. So, anything can be said as a matter which has some mass and having some volume. See this chalk piece. This chalk is going to have some mass and this chalk is having some volume. Let me try to understand you. What is volume? Volume, according to mathematics, volume is nothing but the product of length, breadth and height. According to mass, volume is the product of length, breadth and height. See, if you go to the oil shop and try to buy 1 liter of oil, that 1 liter is nothing but its volume. So, volume is nothing but the space occupied by the substance. So, what is volume? Volume is nothing but the space occupied. Here, if you see this, the board is occupying some space. So, I can say that board is having some volume and also this board is having some mass. So, I can say this board is a matter. So, matter is nothing but which has some mass and having some volume. Now, let us try to understand a simple example. If you take some ice cubes, can I say this ice cubes is a matter? Yes, these ice cubes are also called as a matter. Why? Because these ice cubes are having some mass and these ice cubes are occupying some volume. And start heating these ice cubes. After some time what happens? The ice completely converts into water. Keep on heating it, then what happens? That water converts into water vapor. In ice, water is there. In water is also water is there. In water vapor also water is there. By this activity, we can conclude that matter exists in three physical states. Matter exists in three physical states. What are those physical states? See, if you take the ice, ice is in solid state. If you take the water, water is in liquid state. If you take the water vapor is in gaseous state. So, we can say that matter exists in three different physical states. They are solid, liquid and gas. So, we can say that matter exists in three different physical states. They are solid, liquid and gas. I repeat once again. Matter is nothing but the substances which has some mass and occupying some volume is called as a matter. Matter can be exist in three physical states. They are solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. See, here in case of water, water exists in both three different states, solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. Do you know any other substance which can exist in three different physical states? Yes. The substance which can exist in three physical states is ghee. If you take the dalda itself exists in a solid state. If you take that dalda and heat it, it converts into liquid state and keep on heating it. then it converts into gaseous state. So, ghee is another example where the substance can exist in three different states. They are solid, liquid and gas. Now, when you see a matter through a microscope, the particles are observed or the matter is observed like this. So, by this scientist made an important conclusion that every matter consists of smallest particles. After scientists observing different types of matter through microscope, they conclude that every matter consists of smallest particles. Those are present in solids, liquids and gases also. Next, scientists also concluded that there exists attraction force between these particles. So, scientists concluded two important concepts. First one is every matter consists of smallest particles, and the second one is scientists said that between these particles there exists attraction force. Now, let us try to understand three important ideas in case of our chapter matter around us. The first one is fluids. See, if I place a chalk piece here, until unless I move it, the chalk piece remains at that position only. But when you pour some water on the floor, does the water remains at that point? No. After, what happens? The water starts moving from it. In the same way, you may feel the fragrance of whenever the incense stick is enlightened. Why you are going to feel it? Because the air is moving from one place to another place. So, the substance which can flow are called as fluids. The matter which has ability to flow is called as a fluid. So, fluids are those substances which has an ability to flow. The example for fluids are all liquids and gases are very good examples of fluids. Next, let us try to understand another important idea, that is diffusion. As I had said earlier, when you burn an incense stick, the fragrance of incense stick can be observed in the entire place. That is because of diffusion of those fragrances. In the same way, whenever the girls has having flowers, then the fragrance of the flowers also can be observed. That property of the matter to occupy the entire available volume is called as a diffusion. So, diffusion can be defined as the ability of matter to occupy entire available volume is called as a diffusion. So, diffusion can be defined as the ability of matter to occupy entire available volume is called as a diffusion. Now, let us try to understand another important term, that is called as a compressibility. Suppose if you take this chalk, can you reduce the size of this chalk when you apply the large amount of force on it? No. But if you take a sponge, try to apply force on it, what happens? The size of the sponge get reduced. This phenomena of reducing the size of matter by applying external force is called as a compressibility. So compressibility, it is defined as the ability of matter to reduce its volume by applying external force on it. It is called as a compressibility. I think all of you have played with the syringe. So when you pour some liquid on it, when you apply force on it, what happens? The volume of the liquid gradually decreases. In the same way, when you blow the balloon and try to apply force on it, what happens? The balloon size gradually decreases. This ability of matter to decrease the volume is called as a compressibility. So far we have learned three important definitions. First one is fluids. Fluids means matter which has ability to flow is called as fluids. Next one we learned about diffusion. Diffusion means the ability of matter to occupy entire available volume is called as diffusion. Next we have learned about compressibility. Compressibility means the ability to reduce the volume or reducing the volume by applying external force is called as compressibility. Now let us try to understand about solids, liquids and gases individually and try to apply these concepts in terms of solids, liquids and gases. Now let us see this. First, let us try to understand about solids. When you see a solid, means a ice or a brick or a sand or like that, see how the particles will be. See the particles arrangement. By observing the figure, we can say that in case of solids, all the particles are closer to each other. In case of solids, all the particles are closer to each other. Next, in solids, there exists a great attraction force. In case of solids, there exists great attraction force among the particles. Now, all these particles are arranged in a regular pattern. As the particles are arranged in a regular pattern, these solids are going to have a definite shape and solids are going to have a definite volume. Next, these solids are rigid in nature. What do you mean by rigid? Rigid means these solids cannot move from one place to another place by themselves. That's why we are calling these solids are rigid in nature. Next one, solids do not show diffusion. Diffusion can't be shown easily. Next one is these solids can't be compressed easily. Once again I will repeat for you. When you see the solids through a microscope, the solids are observed to be like this. So, by observing the figure, we can say that in case of solids, the particles are closer to each other. Next, in solids, between the particles, there exists a great attraction force. Next, these solids are going to, in case of solids, the particles are arranged in a regular pattern. In case of solids, the particles are arranged in a regular pattern. Next, as the particles are arranged in a regular pattern, these solids are going to have a definite shape. And these solids are going to have a definite volume. Next, in case of solids, as they are not able to move by themselves, so we say that solids are rigid in nature. Next, these solids cannot show diffusion easily because they can't spread or they can't occupy the volume. They will be confined to a volume, or the volume of the solids is very much restricted. So, these solids cannot show diffusion, or they show diffusion very in definite conditions only. Next, these solids cannot be compressed easily. Sir, if you take the duster can be compressed, so that means the duster is not solid? No, duster is solid, but there are few cases are there where solids can be compressed. See this chalk, can you compress this chalk? Can you reduce the size of the chalk? No, no, but there are few cases are there where the volume of the solid can be reduced, that is called as compression. So, this is what about solids. Now, let us move further towards liquids. I think all of you know the examples of solids, right? The examples of solids are ice, brick, stones, sand, etc. All these are very good examples of solids. Now, let us move further towards liquids. Now, let us try to understand about liquids. Now, also let us try to see the liquids in a microscope. When you see the liquids in a microscope, the figure is something like this. Now, we can understand the concept of liquids one by one. In case of liquids, the particles are not much closer to each other. In case of liquids, the particles are not much closer to each other as in case of solids. See this like this. Now, in case of liquids, there exists a weak attraction force. In case of liquids, between the particles there exists a weak attraction force. Next, these liquids do not have any fixed shape. Because between the particles there exists weak attraction force, no? Suppose if you take some water, pour the water in glass, pour the same water in jug, pour the same water in tumbler, identify the shapes. The shape of the liquid will be the same as that of the container. That means whatever the container you are going to take, the same will be the shape of that liquid. So, these liquids do not have any fixed shape. Next, the volume of the liquids will be fixed. That means liquids do not have any fixed shape, but liquids are going to have a definite volume. I repeat, liquids do not have any fixed shape, but liquids are going to have a definite volume. Next, these liquids are having an ability to flow. I think in cinemas you are going to see whenever a person pour some oil on the steps, the other hero or heroine will fall from it. Do you know why? Because they are slippery in nature, because they are going to flow on it. So, the liquids are going to have an ability to flow. That is why these liquids are also called as fluids. Next one, liquids show diffusion. But when you compare the diffusion of solids with liquids, liquids show more diffusion than solids. Next one, these liquids can be compressed, but the compressibility is only limited proportionally. That means you can't compress all the liquids. So the compressibility of liquids is somewhat more than solids, but it is very less than gases. These are some of the important ideas about liquids, right? Let us try to repeat once again. In case of liquids, the particles are not much closer to each other. Next, in case of liquids, there exists a weak attraction force between the particles. Next, liquids do not have any fixed shape. Liquids are going to have the shape of container. Next, liquids are going to have a definite volume. Next, as these liquids are having an ability to flow, so these are called as fluids. Liquids show flow. Liquids can flow. Next, liquids can show the property of diffusion. Next one is liquids cannot be compressed as easily as gases, but liquids can be compressed more than that of solids. I think all of you know the examples of liquids: milk, petrol, diesel, kerosene. All these are the very good examples of liquids. Now let us move further towards gases. Let us try to understand about gases. A small question for you. Have you seen the gas? No, you can't see the gas, right? Because it is mixed with the air. That's why you can't see the gas, right? You can see the solids and liquids, but you can't see the gas, right? When you see the gas through a microscope, the particles are like this. One particle is on east, one particle is on west, one particle is on south, one particle is on so. That means they are in different directions, right? See, in case of gases, all the particles are far away from each other. In case of gases, all the particles are far away from each other. Next, in gases, the particles are going to have a very weak attraction force. In case of liquids, weak attraction force. In case of gases, the attraction force are very weak. Attraction forces are present between the particles. Next, these gases do not have any fixed shape. Gases don't have any fixed shape. Now you take the balloon, blow the air in it, it will get the shape of the balloon, right? So that means gases do not have any fixed shape. Next one is gases do not have any fixed volume also, because gases particles are very much small, so many gases are going to be intermixed. That's why gases do not have any fixed volume. But at certain important by applying certain suitable conditions, we can measure the volume of the gas, but in general we can't say the exact volume of the gas. That's why I am saying that gases do not have any fixed shape, or gases do not have any fixed volume. Next one, as I have said earlier, gases can easily flow. Gases can easily flow. Next one is these gases show diffusion, and the diffusion of these gases are much higher than that of liquids than that of solids also. Next, these gases can be compressed easily. Gases can be compressed easily. Where you are going to see this compressed gas? You are going to see this compressed gas in your home only. In case of LPG cylinder, there is a cylinder will be there now. That LPG cylinder consists of a gas called butane. What is that gas, Nana? Butane or N-butane. That N-butane gas is gets compressed. So gases can be compressed very easily. Can you tell me where you can see the compressed gas? Anywhere else? You can see the compressed gas in theaters. There will be red colored balloon will be there, red colored cylinder will be there. Even in case of petrol stations also you can see the red color cylinder. That red color cylinder is nothing but carbon dioxide gas which can stop the flames, right? Now let us try to recall all the points once again. In case of gases, all the particles are far away from each other. Next, these gases particles are going to have a very weak attraction force. Next, gases do not have any fixed shape. That means they are going to have the shape of that vessel or the container, whatever it is. Next, these gases do not have any fixed volume because gases are mixed up very easily. That's why you can't measure the volume of the gas directly. Next, gases can flow very easily. That's why it is also called as fluid. Next one, gases show the property of diffusion, much higher than liquids, much higher than solids also. Next, these gases can be compressed very easily. You can see the compressibility property of the gases in case of LPG cylinder, right? Next, the examples of gases are butane gas, which is there in our home, carbon dioxide gas, which is there in petrol pumps and fire station and all others. That's what about solids, liquids and gases and their properties. I hope you have understand this concept of solids, liquids and gases. If you understand this concept, please give a big thumbs up for me and don't forget to subscribe to my channel Chemistry Era. This is Anil. Thank you very much for watching this.